Hey guys, welcome back to SourceFed. I'm Trisha Hirschberg. I'm Lee Newton. Guys, more than 60 foreign models were arrested in China this weekend.
Why? OMG, models? Why? And so many too.
They were taken into custody.
No!
Their passports were taken.
Oh my god, they must be so scared.
And their cell phones were confiscated.
The inhumanity.
I know! I mean, these poor girls were just trying to show us beauty and the latest fashion, guys.
Some are so terrified that they're even outing their fellow foreign models drug cartel style by giving out model apartment addresses in order to fare better in the system.
Models in China are being advised not to open doors to strangers, answer phones, or even turn their apartment lights on. And police are stopping any foreigners who even kind of look like models and demanding to see work papers.
So we totally shouldn't go to China right now? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Hide your headshots, hide your comp cards. They're arresting every model up in here.
So what have these crime lord models done to inspire such mayhem? Okay, here it is. They're working on illegal tourist visas.
Dun, dun, dun. Apparently, it's rather difficult to get a work permit or entertainment visa in certain areas of China, so many girls and their agencies feel it's okay to simply obtain a tourist visa, but
No more. Beijing police are setting up fake casting calls to crack down on the illegal runway divas.
Now, we shouldn't be so hard on China. I mean, it's illegal here in the States to work on a tourist visa, too.
Very true. And look, obviously we've had a good time with the subject matter here, but this is really happening in China right now. So guys, are you team deport the girls or team let them work on the catwalk? Let us know in the comment section down below.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. You can even click this.
What's up? This is Kung-Ming the Mandarin. Welcome to another episode of From Brooklyn to Beijing. This is an update to the Beijing Spartan Greek tragedy that I discussed earlier this morning. So, what you just saw was from 2014 news of female models being arrested in Beijing. Okay, now where am I going with this? A wise king once said, King Solomon, there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. I made a couple phone calls today and I talked to a few of my contacts in the modeling agencies, in the modeling industry. And he pulled my coat to this kind of thing happening before. All right, so why is it happening again? It happened before. Why is it happening again? Why? Because there's nothing new under the sun. All right, I'm gonna come from a totally different perspective, and I'm gonna try to keep this under 10 minutes. But my understanding is the economy is not doing really well, and when economies in certain countries don't fare well, the attention of what's really causing the problem is not addressed, and the sheeple are easily distracted with news like a few hundred models, foreign models, getting arrested in Beijing, right? And it's a distraction. That's basically what it is. It's a distraction from the reality of what's happening in people's lives. So you see this kind of like news going viral. In fact, Uniqlo, this stuff is going viral in China, but it's a distraction. It's a really, really big distraction. And what I want to talk about from an economic and a business point of view is something called the Lewis turning point. I believe that China has already reached its Lewis turning point a few years ago. And what the Lewis turning point is a point in a country's economic a point in a country's economic it's a point in a country's economy where labor costs are no longer cheap. Okay, the cost of labor in China is becoming more and more expensive, and you have a lot of American and foreign companies packing their bags and going to Vietnam, going to Malaysia, going to other countries where the cost of labor is still very, very cheap. Okay, this is what's happening now. For those of you who don't know what the Lewis turning point is or who it's named after Sir William Arthur Lewis. okay, a black man from the West Indies, the Caribbean actually, right? He won the Nobel Peace Prize in economics. Thus, the term Lewis Turning Point was named after him, right? Turn your attention to this article, China approaching the Lewis Turning Point. Cheap Chinese labor makes the world go around. Everybody knows that. It supplies developed markets with cheap goods, which to some extent make up for stagnating wages. It also keeps the Chinese economic model humming by providing the foundation for growth. But how long can this last? IMF economists Miltali Das and Papandai in a new working paper reckon only about another decade. And if you see, this article is written in 2013. When an economy first becomes industrialized, it grows very fast by importing foreign technology and employing capital and plentiful cheap unskilled labor from the farm. Okay, perfect example, China. But after a while, usually about 30 or 40 years, the extra agricultural labor is put to work and wages start to rise. This makes firms less profitable and they have to come up with their own technology to keep growing. This shift is known as the Lewis Turning Point, named after the Nobel Prize winner Sir Arthur Lewis. According to the IMF economists, China is not there yet, but the glut of labor peaked in about 2010, and as the population ages, it's all downhill from there. I already believe that they're experiencing serious Lewis Turning Point. That's why they're turning the attention to a lot of this ridiculous news now. They've estimated that if things stay as they are, China will reach the Lewis Turning Point between 2020 and 2025. Doubt it. And they've already reached it. Of course, things might change. If China relaxed its one-child policy and everyone there suddenly had lots of babies, the Lewis Turning Point might be delayed by a few years. Doubt that's going to happen too. Alternatively, if there's financial sector reform, interest rates will rise. In that case, Chinese workers' savers will feel richer and might not want to work as much. This would speed up the turning point. The story is reminiscent of the Asian economic miracle, the once impressive growth of Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, and South Korea. Paul Krugman claimed their growth was not such a miracle. It was merely the mobilization of resources, taking foreign technology and using cheap labor and capital. Eventually, you run out of cheap labor. Reach a point of diminishing returns to adding more capital and growth slows. Though living standards are much higher than they were before, these countries no longer grow fast. All right, so let me sum this up in layman terms. All right, and let me rattle off a couple of facts to you and statistics about China and Beijing in particular, because I'm in Beijing. Beijing is the capital of China. Most of you know that. The population of Beijing is approximately 22 to 23 million people. I'm going to repeat that again. The population of Beijing is approximately 22 to 23 million people. Every year, there are approximately 9 million people that graduate from universities all around China. The population of New York City is approximately 9 million people. So, question, what are these people going to do for work? If you have a lot of foreigners coming here, working as models and working in restaurants and working as English teachers, when a whole bunch of these Chinese parents spend so much money to send their children abroad, okay, get master's degrees in English, come back, and they want to be English teachers. So, what are these people going to do for jobs? All right? I'm going to tell you what they're going to do for jobs. They're going to kick a lot of these useless foreigners out, okay, and they're going to fill those jobs with Chinese that can do that job for half the salary or more than half the salary. And that's what you see happening now. All right? But it's not explained like that in the media, okay? You have a lot of viral news that's distracting the sheeple. You have a lot of viral news that's distracting the sheeple from the reality of what's really happening, okay? And you have a lot of foreigners coming here thinking that they can still make a lot of money based on their skin color, working as English teachers. My friends, those days are coming quickly to an end. Those days of white foreigners or any other foreigner with lighter skin coming here with basically no education, can't speak Chinese, and thinking they're going to get a job for 30,000 renminbi a month, those days are quickly coming to an end. All right, that's the reality of it. If you don't have any skills to generate income for yourself legally and stimulate this economy, you are in serious trouble. There are a lot of opportunities here, but you need to have the skills. And one of those skills, like I said before, is knowing how to speak Chinese, learning the language, understanding the culture, understanding the culture, understanding the culture. Okay? Yes, I'm an African American. Yes, I've been discriminated against, but I can tell you this. I have a lot more advantages than the average white guy that doesn't speak Chinese, that's for sure, because I can communicate directly with Chinese people, and they can't. All right? Your looks are only going to take you so far in this country before people find out that you're full of shit, regardless of what color you are. All right? I'm going to repeat that again. Your looks and your skin color is only going to take you so far in this country before Chinese people find out that you're full of shit. You think Chinese people are stupid? Huh? You're sadly mistaken. You think you can fool them based on your skin color for a long time? You're mistaken. If you don't have the skills to back up your looks or anything like that, you're not going to last long. Simple as that. All right? It's as simple as that. Even Bruce Lee said, it's not the man that it's not the art that makes the man. It's the man that makes the art. All right? If you don't have the skills to show, then you're gonna play yourself. You're gonna be found out sooner or later. All right? So that's my take on what's happening here. This stuff is going viral because right now the economy is not doing really well, and you have a lot of foreigners here on, illegal visas or no visas at all, and they're basically doing a lot of jobs that Chinese people could be doing for half the money or less than half the money. All right, and China is a country that's very, very nationalistic. It doesn't take too much to rile them up, okay, and get them pissed off at foreigners, no matter what color they are. All right, so keep that in mind. A lot of opportunities here, but you got to have the skills to make it happen. Like and subscribe to my channel. If you don't like what I have to say, I respect that. Leave your questions and comments below. Like and subscribe. From Brooklyn to Beijing, I'm Kong Ming the Mandarin. I'm out.